This is a brief overview and refresher on how email works and some email terminology. Let's start with the difference between a provider, a system, webmail, and client. A provider could be someone like Google, Microsoft, TELUS, or Yahoo. Those are companies that run email systems. Some examples of some systems are Gmail, Hotmail, also known as Outlook.com now, TELUS Email, and Yahoo Mail. So that's the difference between a provider and a system. The provider is the company and the system is the email system. The difference between webmail and a client is webmail is typically a website that you go to access an email system. So for instance, you can go to gmail.com to access the Gmail system provided by Google. Or you could go to webmail.telus.net to access the TELUS email system provided by TELUS. An email client is a program installed on your computer that goes to the email system and sends and receives emails for you, as well as a few other things, but we won't get into that in this video. Some examples of some well-known clients are Outlook, not to be confused with Outlook.com. Outlook and Outlook.com are two separate things. Outlook.com is a system, and Outlook is a client. There's also Thunderbird, the Messages app on your iPhone or iPad. That's also a client. Windows Live Mail. Outlook Express is an older one that isn't really around anymore. And also the program known as just Mail on Windows 10 is an example of an email client. Now we'll go over how an email system works and how it's actually modeled after a common postal service. So we start off on your computer. Now this can be on a mail client or on a webmail system that your computer is accessing. It also doesn't necessarily have to be a computer. This could be your phone or tablet. So this is kind of like starting out with your envelope. You have your mail, it's in the envelope, and it's ready to go out. First thing it's going to do is go out to a mail server, which is going to be operated by your email provider. This would be kind of like going to the post office in your town. Once it leaves the post office or the mail server, it's going to go out onto the internet, which could consist of some exchanges, different providers, etc. And that's kind of like when your physical mail leaves the post office in your town and goes out to a sorting center. And those could be run by Canada Post or USPS or any other mail carrier depending on where you're sending your letter from and to. Once your email gets closer to its destination, it's going to arrive on the mail server of the email provider of the person that you've sent the email to. So this would be kind of like your letter arriving at the post office in their town. The person you've sent the email to will turn on their computer or phone or tablet, open up their mail client or access their webmail, and receive the email. And that's kind of like them opening up their envelope and receiving what you've sent them. This is true for almost any email system operated by any email provider, and any path that an email will take from one person to another, regardless of device and regardless of provider and regardless of email system.